Hi everyone, how you doing? You welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we'll be drafting and cutting this princess dart bustier with built-up neckline. This blouse is worn by Miss Prudence. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video with your soul friends. So guys, let's get into it. To draft this built-up neckline blouse, I came down by 3 inches. This is the allowance I will leave for the built-up collar. Then I came in by ½ inches at the center front. After doing this, now we have to get the measurements. The first thing we do is to get the shoulder width. The shoulder width I'm working with is 14 inches. 14 divided by 2 will give me 7 inches. So I will add ½ inches to this my 7 inches mark. Now the shoulder measurement I'm working with now is 7.5. So I'll drop my 7.5 inches here, and the next I have to do is to get the width of the neckline. So for the width of the neckline, I use 3 inches. Then the depth also, I'll make use of 3 inches. Now connect the neckline together. So after connecting the neckline together, now come down by 1 inches for my shoulder slope. Then I'll connect this 1 inches mark to the width of the neckline. So now leave this. Now we get the bust point line. So shoulder to bust point is 12 inches. Then shoulder to under bust 16 inches. Shoulder to waist 19 inches. Then the length of the blouse that I'm working with 26 inches for the length of the blouse. I'll connect these lines together. I'm done connecting the lines together. It's always good to label your pattern. This is bust point, under bust, the waist, and my top length. Now the next we have to do is to get a bust line, also known as the chest line. To get your bust line, you divide your bust by 6 plus 1.5. The box I'm working with is 44. 44 divided by 6 plus 1.5 give me 8.5. So from this 1 inches mark we have here, I'll come down by 8.5 and mark. And I'll check what I have from my startup line. I have 9.75. Then I'll bring it up to this side here and mark. I'll connect this line together. I'm done connecting the line. Now I'll put down chest line here. So now I'll bring down the shoulder measurement down to the chest line. The shoulder I'm working with is 14. 14 divided by 2 give me 7 inches. Then I add ½ inches for seam allowance. That's 7.5. Then I'll bring it down here. Now connect this line with a straight line. So after connecting these shoulder lines together, now the next we have to do is to divide this line by 2. 8.5 divided by 2 will give me 4.25. So down here I'll come down by 4.25. Then for the armhole shape, I'll come in by ½ inches for the front. Now connect a straight line from this 1 inches mark we have here down here this way, like this. Then I will make use of my French curve to finish up. So now after doing this, now the next we have to do is to get the bust pan. The bust pan I'm working with is 4.5. On the bust point here, I'll come in by 4.5. And on the under bust, I'll come in by 4.5. On the waist also, I'll come in by 4.5. Then on my top length, I'll come in by 4.5. So now I'll connect the lines together. So now after connecting the lines, now the next we have to do is to open the dart. This pattern I'm drafting is a plus size, so I'll be opening the dart by 0.75. But when you're working for a small size, you use ½ inches. When you are working with a plus size and you use 0.75, it will snatch the waist very well. That's why you use 0.75 on a plus size. But for small size, you use ½ inches. Then for my bust point here, I'll come down by 1 inches. Because my dart is not getting to the bust pan. Then on the top length, I will come up by 2 inches. the dart also is not getting to the top length. So now connect the dart legs together. So guys, I'm done connecting the dart legs together. Now the next we have to do is to drop the bust measurement. Now on the chest line, I'll divide my bust by 4. The bust I'm working with is 44. 44 divided by 4 will give me 11 inches. On the chest line, I'll drop down 11 inches for the bust. Then on the waist, I'll divide my waist by 4. 39 divided by 4 give me 9.75. Then on my waist here, I'll put down the 9.75. Then I'll check what I have on my dart intake. For the dart, I have 1.5. Then I'll add it back to the waist, 1.5. So now I'll divide my hip. The hip I'm working with is 45. 45 divided by 4 will give me 11.5. On my top length, I'll put down the hip measurement, which is 11.5. So now from the chest line, we connect to the waist, chest to waist, then waist to the top length. So now after getting the measurement down, the next I have to do is to come down from the bust point by 2 inches. This is the difference between my front and back measurements. Then I'll connect this to the nipple to nipple point I have here. The next we have to do is to tighten the under bust. So the under bust I'm working with is 37. So 37 divided by 4. So after dividing my under bust by 4, I have 9.5. So here I'll put down 9.5 for the under bust. Then I'll check what I have left. I have 1.75. On this first dart leg here, I will come in by half inches. I will come in here by half inches. Now I'll put down 1.25 on this dart leg here. I'll mark 1.25. Check what we have here now. When you put the half inches you put here on this dart leg here, you see it's 1.75. So now I'll use my French curve to connect back to my nipple to nipple line like this. Then I'll turn the French curve to this other side and do the same thing. So now after connecting the under bust line, now we'll bring it down to the waistline. And you do the same thing also on this other dart leg. Now the next we have to do is to get the princess dart. This shoulder here we divided. You divide your shoulder by 2, which is 4.25. That mark, this line we have here, I will just come this way with my French curve. Then I'll come out by half inches. Wait. This is the half inches. Now connect the new armhole. When you do this, by the time you are joining your side front and the center front together, it will not be short at the armhole. Now we're almost done, but the next we have to do now is to work on the hem of this top. From the center front here, I will come down by 1.5. Then on the side front, I will come up also by 1.5. You know, fashion is give and take. What you take here, you drop it back to this other side. So now I'll connect this line together this way. Sorry, before we connect, this blouse has a style line at the hip area. So for that style, we come out by 2 inches from the hip line we already have here. 2 inches like this. And now connect it back to the waistline. Now from this style we have here, we'll now come up by 1.5. This is 1.5 here. Then we shape back to this 1.5 we came down here. I'm done connecting the lines together. The next I have to do, I will have to bring down my bust span down to this new hemline we have here, which is, so now connect it together. So this is it. So now we have to work on the built-up collar. So from this neck width we have here, I will come in by half inches. I came in here by half inches. Then on this shoulder line, I will come in by 0.25. This is half inches. From this line here we have to this 1 inches is half inches. Then from this half inches to here is 0.25. That's what I did. So on the shoulder line, which is outside here, I came in by 0.25. So now I will come up by 2 inches here, by 2 inches. Now I'll rule a straight line down here. Now after ruling the straight line, now from this mark here, I'll come in by half inches. So after coming in by half inches, now on my neck depth here, I'll come up by 2 inches and mark. So now we have to get the new neckline, which I will just use like this. My new neckline. Then on this 0.25 here, I will just do this. You can see the way I place my curve. You can see now this is the new neckline. You know, I came up by 2 inches from this neck depth here, 2 inches. On this new neck now, I'll come in by half inches here. Now for the depth, I'll come down here by 7 inches. You can do 8, you can do 9, depending on how you want to show your cleavage, but I'll be making use of 7 inches from this new neckline here. That's when I came down by 7 inches. So now I will connect like this. This is it. Now use my marker pen to make it bold for you to see. I'll keep this aside. We'll not cut this first. After drafting the back pattern, then we'll now cut the front pattern. The back pattern, I came down by 3 inches for the startup line. Then the next I did is I marked from shoulder to chest line, from shoulder to waist, and from shoulder to the top length. Then on the side of the back, I came in by 1.5 inches. This is the zipper allowance. After doing this, now we have to work on the neckline. So for the neckline, for the back, I'll be making use of 3 inches for the width. Then I'll come down by 1 inches for the depth of the neckline for the back. Now connect this together. The shoulder for the back also will be 7.5. Then I'll come down by 1 inches for the shoulder slope. Connect this 1 inches down to the width of the neckline. Now bring down my shoulder measurement down to the chest line, which is 7.5 inches. Then I'll connect with the straight line. Then I'll divide the shoulder by 2, which is 4.25 here, and I'll mark. Then I'll come in by 0.25 for the back shoulder. 0.25. Now connect my shoulder lines together. Next we have to do is to get the bust pan. For my bust pan, I'm making use of 4.5 inches for the bust pan. On the chest line, I'll mark 4.5 inches. On the waist line also 4.5 inches. Then on the top length, 4.5 inches. Now connect this line with the straight line. Come down from the chest line by 1 inches. My dart is not getting to the chest line. Then on the top length, I'll come up by 2 inches. The dart is not getting to the top length also. Then I'll open my dart by 0.75. When you're working for a plus size, you open your dart by 0.75. But when you're working for a small size, you make use of half inches. 0.75. Now connect the dart legs together. After connecting my dart legs together, the next I have to do is to tighten the back to avoid back bulge on the zipper area. So I'll come in by half inches from the center back here and mark. From the top length, I'll come up by 2 inches and mark. From the depth of my neckline, I'll come down by 3 inches and mark also. I'll connect from this 3 inches mark here to this 1/2 inches. You can see the way I did my, like this. Connect down to the hemline. We've tightened the back to avoid back bulge. Now the next I have to do is to drop down my bust measurement. The bust I'm working with is 44. 44 divided by 4 will give me 11 inches. You can see where I start my 11 inches is after the back shaping. That's where I will start my 11 inches. Yeah, this is my bust measurement. On the waist, I will divide my waist by 4. 39 divided by 4 will give me 9.75. After that 1/2 inches, that's why I put 9.75, and I will mark. After marking, I will check what I have on my dart leg here. I have 1.5. Then I'll add the 1.5 back. Then on the top length, I'll divide my hip by 4. The hip I'm working with is 45. 45 divided by 4 will give me 11.5. So I'll mark 11.5 here. Then I will add that star line we have on the blouse, which is 2 inches I added for the front. I'll do the same thing also for the back. So now I'll connect the lines together. From chest line to waist, I'll connect this way first. Then from waist to the hip. So now I'm done connecting the sides together. Now the next we have to do is to get the princess line for the back. So for the back princess dart, I'll come this way. I'll come out by 1/2 inches. Now connect the new armhole line. This is the princess dart for the back. Now we have to work on the neckline. For the back neckline, I will come in by 1/2 inches from the neck width here, 1/2 inches. Then on this shoulder line here, I'll come also by 0.25. I'll come out by 0.25. I came in by 1/2 inches. Then on the shoulder width here, I came in by 0.25. Then I will now mark this up to 2 inches. The length of the collar will be like 2 inches long. This is it. Then I'll check what I have here. I have 2.5. I'll bring it up here also and connect with a straight line. Now use my French curve to get the line like this. You can see the way I place it. This is it. Then on this side of the center back, I'll come here also and mark 2 inches. Then I'll connect this with a straight line. Then now I'll mark the allowance for the zipper. For my zipper allowance, I'll come in by 1 inches here and mark. Now come down from this 1 inches I have here by 1/2 inches. So now this is the new neckline for the back. So I'll just place my curve like this. This is the new neckline for the back. Now the next we have to do is to get the zipper allowance. From this line here, I'll mark my zipper allowance, which is 1 inches. I'll come here also and mark 1 inches for zipper allowance. So before we connect the zipper allowance line together, we'll come down from the center back by 1.5 inches. On the center back, you come down by 1.5 inches, and on your side back, you come up by 1.5 inches. Fashion is give and take. What you take here, you place it back. So now shaping the back like this. You can see the way I place my curve this way, and I will mark. Now check what I have on the neckline. So to check that, you come this way. You can see the way I measure and check what you have here. This is how you check it. We have 6.75. I'll check if I have the same thing also on the front. We have 6.75 at the front. Then we check what we have at the back. 6.75. So now we can cut. I will start cutting from the front. After opening the princess dart, now we have to fold the bust dart. You fold your bust dart this way. I will use my paper tape to hold the bust dart down. After folding in your bust dart, you see the sides are not equal. You blend it. Blend it back this way. So guys, I'm done cutting the front. Now cut the back also. So guys, I'm done with the cutting of the front and the back pattern. This is my center front and this is the center back, the zipper allowance. Okay, now for the side front and the side back, your side front and side back has to be equal at the sides. You can see mine is equal at the sides. I'll cut this on my fabric and tell you what to do next. So guys, I'm done cutting on my fabric. Note, when you want to cut your center front should be on fold. You can see mine is on fold. Then you add half inches for joining allowance at the side. Then you add half inches for hemming allowance to turn the lining and the fabric together. Then on the side of the front also, I added half inches for joining allowance that will join the side front and the center front together. And on the side of my center front, I added 1.5 inches for seam allowance. I'll keep my front pattern aside. This is the back of the blouse. I've already added my zipper allowance on the pattern already. So what I did is to add half inches for joining allowance here, and on the side back also I added half inches for joining allowance. Then on this other side here I added 1.5 inches for seam allowance, and on the hem of the back also I added half inches for turning allowance that we used to turn the lining and the fabric. So guys, we've come to an end of the drafting and cutting video. I'll be dropping the sewing video soon. Please do here to like, share this video with your sew friends, and if you have any question, I'll be at the comment section to answer all questions. Thank you. See you guys on my next video. God bless you.